Who are you? Who are we? Are we simply a title or a role we play in society? Are we still that person if that title or job or responsibility ends? Or are we something more, something that does not end? When we describe other people, we often start with the title or role or responsibility that we feel the strongest connection with. This is not always true. It can depend on the context, but most often we begin with the way in which we are most connected. An example might be if you saw me somewhere and I was talking to someone you didn't know, and you walked up and I would introduce you. I would say, hey Joe, it's good to see you. This is my friend Randy. I would lead with the descriptive title, friend. I would not say, hey, this is former young life professional, former evangelical non-denominational pastor, sort of formal Disciples of Christ minister, loosely associated Episcopalian, former realtor, founder of a Bikers Against Child Abuse chapter, former O'Reilly's delivery driver, lover of God's people, including his wife, children, grandchildren, and C.S. Lewis. No, I wouldn't just say, I would just simply say, I'd like you to meet my friend Randy. Because in this case, this title of friend, the word that most connects me to him has so many layers and is so complex that even if I tried to describe him to you, it would still fall short. I think much like words could not describe the way Jesus felt towards his disciples when he said, I do not call you servants any longer, I have called you friends. My guess is the way Jesus really felt deeply about them, the way he deeply loved them, the word friend was not enough, but it was the best that they could understand. I mean, real friends don't get the title by sitting idle. Friends are active in each other's lives, and time and distance don't change that. Now, last week we began hearing the Sermon on the Mount, which begins with what we call the Beatitudes. And this week, our gospel reading continues from within that same sermon. Who are you? Who are we? Today, Jesus gives us titles to help us answer who we are. Salt. We are salt. It's probably not helpful if we introduce ourselves that way. Hi, I'm Kirk. I'm Salt. It's just not helpful. When Jesus tells us that we are salt, it is for our own knowledge. It is sort of our baseline of consciousness as we move forward. It is like knowing that God created humanity and called it good. Good is the baseline. Salt. You see, pure salt is a stable mineral and does not lose its saltiness. It is only when salt becomes impure or contaminated that it loses its saltiness. Jesus says we are salt of the earth. Salt of the earth is pure. Know who you are? Pure. Salty. Salt that remains in the ground, though, is not helpful. It is inactive. Salt that remains on the shelf is not helpful. You must mix it in to make a difference. I can't help but wonder if the salt thing required more explanation than Jesus could muster up at that particular moment, and so he moved on. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." Light is powerful. It does not get extinguished by the darkness. It is the light that overcomes the darkness. It's like hope. It will not go away. Those listening to Jesus understood the examples of light. They understood a light stand. They understood that Jerusalem sat on a hill and travelers could see the light from a distance. It is like approaching Las Vegas at night. You see the glow of neon long before you see anything else. It cannot be hidden. Who are you? Jesus chose words in which he felt connected us with him. He didn't say, you are Joseph the carpenter or Peter the fisherman. Jesus said, you are salt, pure. You are light, unstoppable. No matter how hard the darkness tries, you are the light of the world, and God calls you not only good, God calls you very good. Last week, I'm standing in line at the Oklahoma Electric Cooperative. I was there in person to beat a 5 o'clock p.m. shutoff notice for someone who reached out to the church in desperation. While in line, I had a conversation with a nice gentleman. He was a couple generations older than me. I learned much about him. I learned about his upbringing on a cattle and horse ranch. We talked about how neither one of us cared much for breaking ice in the deep dead of winter. I learned about his successful life as a building manager and the struggles and how that career ended. And I learned that he was a Christian with strong sense of faith. He mentioned the darkness in the world, and I said that I felt that God's story was not yet done, that the darkness would not win out. He brought up what was going on in Minneapolis, and he lamented back to a time when they were good. Yes, his understanding and description of the people of Minneapolis was that they were no longer good. Hi, I'd like you to meet the people of Minneapolis. They're no longer good. I wish I had had more time to visit with him. I would have liked to introduce him to the Minneapolis that I see. What I see in Minneapolis is a people who understand what it means to be the light of the world. Yes, there are some people who feel surrounded by fear and darkness so much that they don't want to leave their own home. They feel safer staying on the shelf. The light of the world cannot be stopped, and that light is taking care of those people who need it. Food deliveries, medicine deliveries, home visits with love and compassion to people that they don't even know. They don't even have the title of friend. Jesus knew this, and he knew this about the people of Minneapolis, and he called them off the shelf to shine. Who are you? Who are we? Pastor, banker, salesperson, student, teacher, healer, attorney, architect, construction worker, scout. I mean, these are simply titles and roles as a part of our life. When we think about who we are, let's start with what's most important. We are salt. We are light. We are good. Very good. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Amen.